The first time I was backstage, it was Pantera, Slayer, StaticX, MorbidAngel, and SKRAPE, 7/3/2001, Allstate Arena. Here's the story. A limo picked me and 9 of my friends up from my parents' house, and we took the limo to Rosemont, Illinois, where the concert was happening. And we had 2 bottles of Wild Turkey, 2 cases of Miller Lite, 2 cases of MGD, 2 cases of Bud Light. We had a ton of beer and whiskey and weed. And we fucking took the limo and got really drunk and really stoned on the way. And I remember on the way there, I put on the Great Southern Trendkill, and we listened to that the whole way there. And then on the way back, I had one other CD, which was Far Beyond Driven, and we listened to that. And we got the limo driver high, which was fun. And long story short, I could tell the whole story, but I'm going to try to simplify this. We get there, I go inside, and I sneak in a flask of whiskey, Wild Turkey, 101 proof Wild Turkey. And, I'm there, and I'm drinking it, and then all of a sudden I feel a flashlight, and I see a flashlight on my face. I'm like, what the fuck is this? All of a sudden, 2 fucking huge security guards come, and they fucking tell me, follow me, we have to talk to you. And they bring me to an area of the Allstate Arena that was private, and they sit me down, and they're like, fucking, you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to sneak in fucking a flask, and blah, blah, blah. So they tell me that they're kicking me out. So they eject me from the concert. Now I'm ejected at Pantera, Slayer, Pantera being my favorite band, Slayer being my second or third favorite band. Metallica's right under Pantera, actually, and then Slayer, and then, of course, the rest, Megadeth and Anthrax and fucking everybody else who goes down the line. So I'm outside, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, I was like, I'm not going to not go to this concert. So my first idea was just to go and buy another ticket. But when I went to the box office, they were sold out. And I was like, damn, they're sold out. So then my next idea was to try to sneak in. So I'm walking around the Allstate Arena, and there was a garage door that was open, and it led into the arena. So I actually walked through there and walked right back in to the Allstate Arena, and I was in. But I had bad luck, because when I was walking down the hall, the guy who kicked me out walked by and saw me, and he was like, how the fuck did you get back in here? He said, let's go, and he kicked me out again, so I got kicked out twice. All right, that's number 2. Then I'm outside, and I'm like, thinking, I'm like, let me walk around a little bit, see if I can do it again. And wouldn't you fucking know it, the garage door was left open again. So I walk in. Now this time, the first time I went in the downstairs, this time there was a stairwell going up. I went in through the upstairs, and I was on the upper level, which was smarter. So I go in, and I'm in the upper deck, and I'm on the, I walk in, and I can see the stage, and I'm walking down the steps, and then wouldn't you know it, that same motherfucker saw me again, and he grabbed me and threw me out for a third time. So I got thrown out 3 times. Now this is where it gets good. So I'm walking around the Allstate Arena. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I need to get a ticket. So there's this guy that has a ticket, and he's selling it, and I tell him, work with me on the price, because I was 18 years old. I had, I don't even know how much I had, but I didn't have enough for what he was at, because he was asking like $40-$50, and I didn't have that, and he wouldn't sell it. So I was like, damn, I missed out on fucking Pantera. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me try to walk to the back. So I walk to the back where the buses are, and I see this guy come out of the back door, and I'm like, hey man, can I talk to you for a minute? And he's like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, dude, fucking, I got kicked out for being drunk, and I'm gonna miss Pantera and Slayer. Can you please help me get in? I need to see this show. And he's like, yes. He did, and he walked me backstage, and then I was able to walk down onto the floor and watch the end of Slayer. I missed most of Slayer, but I did see all of Pantera, and it fucking changed my world just to be able to see that heavy of a show. They played songs like Slaughtered, 25 Years, I'll Cast a Shadow, Hellbound, Cowboys from Hell. It was a super, super heavy set of Pantera songs, even for Pantera. And then, so I get in and I'm watching the show. Vinnie Paul, towards the end of, I can't remember what song it was, but he threw a stick out and I caught it. I caught the stick, and this guy comes up to me, grabs the stick in my hand, and tries to rip it out of my fucking hands. And I end up fucking hitting the guy in his face. I was like, poof, knocked him out. And then the show ended. And now, remember, I told you in the beginning of this, I took a limo there. So the limo had told us to meet across the street at a liquor store in Rosemont because the traffic is so bad in that immediate area of the arena that he wouldn't be able to get out for like an hour, and he didn't want to waste all that time because as a limo driver, time is money. So and we had to pay him to wait for us, too. So the whole limo, probably back then, this is 2001, it costed like, I think it was like $350 or $400 for all 10 of us to go, for the limo driver, for waiting time. That's what they call it in the industry, for waiting time. So he waited. So I can't remember where the limo is, and I'm walking around and I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know where this limo is. I had lost all my friends. And so I start walking around the arena again, and I was super hungry and thirsty. And there's a hotel right next to the arena. I walk in the hotel, walk straight to the kitchen, and make myself some food and a drink like I own the place. That's how stupid and ballsy I was as a fucking youth. And then I walk out, and I walk to the back, and the gate for going in to the bus area was open slightly, and I was smaller then, so I was able to fit. So I walk through, and the first person I see is Kerry King. Then I see Crusher, Pantera's bodyguard, and they don't bother me. And Kerry King says, "What's up?" And I start talking with Kerry. So I'm talking with Kerry the whole time, and I was back there chatting with him and Vinnie Paul, and all of a sudden, fucking what's his name that got in trouble? Trip Eisen from StaticX was there, and I had everybody sign my stick. Kerry King signed it, Vinnie Paul signed it, and then I knocked on the bus, and Bobby Tongs, the first time I met Bobby Tongs, he comes out, and I'm like, can you ask Dimebag to sign the stick or come out? And he said, man, Dime's not feeling so hot right now, but give me the stick, I'll have him sign it. So he had Dime sign the stick, and that was an amazing moment. And just to be able to hang out with Kerry King for an extended period of time, man, we talked football, he was drinking Smirnoff Ice when Smirnoff Ice was brand new, so that was pretty cool. And I remember thinking, I was like, I'm fucking so, like, after you get really wasted and then you sober up, like I was like that, and I was just throwing up left and right. I threw up like 6 times while I was in the presence of the King, and he kept laughing his nuts off. He's like, man, this kid he's an everlasting fucking fountain of puke, because I kept puking all the time on the side of the building. And he just laughed his nuts off at that. And then Paul Bostoff came out, Tom Mariah. I did not see Jeff Hanneman that day. I did not see a lot of people. There was definitely, I wanted to see, David Vincent and, Pete Sandoval from MorbidAngel. Didn't get a chance to see them, but I did get to see some of my favorites and my heroes, and it was an amazing time, and it was an amazing experience that I'll never forget, and I cherish in my heart that I went, and that, I've chosen this path of listening to this great music, this heavy metal music, that the people are so passionate, and the fans are so passionate, and the bands are so passionate. The artistry is unmatched as far as if you're getting into different genres. There are no more passionate musicians than heavy metal musicians. We live it, we breathe it, we die for it. So that's what it's all about, and I just wanted to share my Pantera story. Once again, happy birthday to Vinnie Paul. Yesterday was his 61st, what would have been his 61st birthday. Vince, my all-time favorite drummer. Nobody hit the skins like Vinnie Paul, a true pounder, and he really, really, really changed the game for drumming. I know that I've talked to so many drummers that said Vinnie Paul's style, just like that, riding that crash, you know, just riding that crash and hitting those bass drums. And, you know, whether it's listening to the end of Becoming, or, you know, listening to, you know, Suicide Note Part 2, or The Great Southern Trendkill, or War Nerve, or, you know, Slaughtered, or Shedding Skin, or, you know, any of them. They're all my favorites, but Throes of Rejection is my favorite Vinnie Paul song on drums. That song, just, the double bass is so fast, and what he's doing is so amazing. When he starts hitting the China in syncopation with the double kick, it's just so heavy, man. So cheers to Vince and Dime, wherever you are. Much love to y'all. And thanks for listening to my Pantera story, everybody. This has been your boy Nickelsack Jack signing off. Cheers.